talk about.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be.
What music means to you, and we're going to break down the essence of music and what it is. So, welcome, everyone, to another edition, another episode of Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking. I am Troy Skinner, your host, and this is my co-host,
Tony Dean.
Yes, and we are logging in today to bring to you all of the happenings in the social sphere, or sphere, as they say it, in regards to pop culture and news of the day. Okay, so yeah,
AKA how they got black people acting up in modern media today.
Right, yeah. And it's weird because even when they got white people acting up, white people seem to be a little bit more behaved than they have with black people acting up.
Hardly considered pop culture, right?
Yeah, right. So yeah, today we're talking about pop culture and we're talking about current events. Definitely chime in if you have any statements, any questions, any stuff you want to add to our conversation. Thank you for joining in tonight. We greatly appreciate everyone that joins in on our show every week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah, so let's get it lit. Let's get started. First off, we want to talk about what happened yesterday. Here at Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking, we're very big on doing things to change your community. And I believe in not just in word, but in deed. Yes, our show is a show of conversation and perspective, and we do speak about different topics and different things in regards to how we can help our community and how we can help each other in order to get along in this thing called life. And don't mind Antonio, he's just getting everything situated. So, and just remember, if you're watching my stream, it may cut off within the hour. Unfortunately, we still haven't figured out what's going on. I've signed in on different phones and different things, and it just cuts off. But if you have any ideas on how to help us on that, please send in a
YouTube is not, or not YouTube, Instagram is not being fair to your accounts.
It's not fair to my accounts. I've switched, I've done a lot of different things. So we just maintain, like black people, man, you know, that knob fall off the TV, we get them pliers and turn it.
Correct.
So with that being said, that's kind of what I'm talking about in regards to yesterday. Yesterday, it was a very interesting day. Antonio and I went to the Challenge Preparatory Academy here in Augusta, Georgia, where we were invited by Dr. Middleton, who is the principal of this school, and ran this class of kids, young black kids, almost 20 kids. I was invited by Juliet Ford, who was the person that set it up between us, and I went to speak about children and the knowledge of filmmaking. And they were interviewing me and everything. It was weird. Walked in there and they had a picture of me on the TV.
Right.
I was like, I didn't know it was going to be this involved. They had little biography photos of me.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that at all, man. I didn't know that they was going to do homework and all of that.
Man, apparently they watched all my films.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was a great experience.
Beautiful. All of those children, man, very, highly intelligent, and seems to be they're all becoming astute in many different subjects. The Dr. Willis there, is she the owner or just the creator?
Both.
She's kind of leading.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Her leadership up there is immaculate. She's ensuring that our community and the local area, that they at least have an opportunity to bounce back from the devastation that was COVID, and keeping everyone out of school because, like we've said multiple times here on the show, the younger generation isn't exactly getting the full opportunity to polish their gifts, and their strengths.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you're very big on that.
Yeah,
Antonio.
100%.
You talk about that in every show that we've mentioned. You talked about, and this is in testament to what you were mentioning about a couple of shows back,
mm-hmm.
in regards to having someone there, man.
It matters.
Yeah, right.
It's just the opportunity, man. You get to see that you do have options, and that there are other things in the world that you can be afforded outside of just your immediate, viewpoint.
With that being said, it was great. It was awesome. We took pictures. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see photos on there of the kids. I love
great
kids.
class.
Yeah, I don't have kids, but I love being around kids, especially kids that love to build, because I'm all about building. That's always the message. And this is the catch. By being there, Antonio spoke with the person running the event.
That's Dr. Willis. I didn't get her. I don't have her first name. It's on the card though.
Yeah.
You get that?
Or is that someone else?
No, that's somebody else.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Yeah.
Dr. Willis, man, up at what's the name of the school?
Challenge
Preparatory.
The Challenge Preparatory Academy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I did get the opportunity. I noticed that they had a list of their curriculum up on the board, and cyber awareness is one of those categories or one of those.
Now, hold on
classes.
for a second before we move past that, because look how serious that is, man, for kids that age. And right after me, then they had an art instructor come in.
Yeah. Knowing that they have the opportunity to learn more about cyber awareness and the IT industry at such a young age, especially in the direction that the world is headed right now. We've already basically had the social test that came from COVID, which was giving everyone or a lot of career fields the opportunity to work from home.
And so you're going to be going Tuesday to talk to the kids.
Monday.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. My mistake. Monday.
Monday, 12:30. I'll be just kind of running down my story and my resume, which I won't share here, but just showing them that they can do more than just play basketball or football or do eyelashes and nails and all of that kind of silly shit. You want to give them the opportunity to truly be able to support services that are leading towards the future here in America, So I'm really looking forward to that. And
how did that make you feel? Because I know when I was there speaking with the kids, and I remember one of the teachers, she told me, she said, you're very well at public speaking. And the questions that those kids was hitting me with.
Yeah, they were organized. They had them, they had their index cards.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to being interviewed. I've been interviewed many times over in my life. But with the kids, and you mentioned how smart they were, because that was the thing that stayed on me. They came up with some really good questions that it took me a second to be like, But enough about me. My question to you is, how does that make you feel that you're going to be able to give back?
I'm always looking to give back. Even when I travel, man. A part of my life is just kind of being a bit of a nomad. So I travel and I teach martial arts to any community in my vicinity. For example, up in Sacramento, California, we got a project area called CV Circle, and I've been in there multiple times, just getting the kids to come together out in the courtyard and got them out there punching and, you know, going through their blocks and shit like that. So just offering them social maturity and emotional discipline. You know, that's number one for me. So, and to that, one of the more important things that I think is grand about her her efforts are that she makes them walk. She's got them doing yoga.
Yeah.
Talks to them about their diet.
Yeah.
You know, so that's also going to be another opportunity. We talked to her about us being martial artists, so we will have the opportunity to also go up there during their you know, their physical health classes and teach them a little bit about karate. You know, get them some structure and discipline.
I got the little soft pads so they can hit that without hurting their hand. But, you know, why is this important? Because personal accountability is what we always talk about. And that's kind of what I shared with the kids yesterday. And why is this something that we're opening our show with? Well, because those of you who listen to us on the regular, you always hear us talk about personal accountability and how we can help to change things in the community. So we are challenging you, the viewers, okay, that sometime before the holiday season, you get out and you give something back to the community.
Your local community.
Yes. We're not talking about feeding the homeless or feeding the hungry or giving blankets. No.
Put some energy into restructuring, re-educating, and you know, reestablishing a different outlook and perspective for these children.
Conversation, talking, sharing your energy. Because afterwards we were like, right?
It was great.
Yeah.
You know, it was an excellent feeling. Just seeing that they have another opportunity, man. You know, because even looking at the, she has showed us her what the hell is the word? Not diagram, but like the blueprint for, you know, what they're looking to do with the area.
The
She wants the entire town to be driving down the main street and be able to see
the preparatory
the preparatory institute.
Yeah, the academy. Yeah, and you know, most people will look at that and saying, "Oh, that's arrogant." And it's like, no, that's powerful. That's beautiful.
100%. And she's making them kids, you know, be prideful about something. You know, she's giving them something that they can care about.
Well behaved. We see all these videos of kids in classrooms acting a fool, and these kids were well behaved.
Very well mannered.
Very well mannered.
Eloquent.
Dressed up in their uniform, and she said normally they have these other uniforms. I was like, what?
Yeah. Yesterday was kind of like their business casual day, you know, and even still, you know, every single one of them was sharp.
Yeah, it was funny because you and I beforehand we texted back and forth.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, do we need to wear suits or like what we gonna do? You know, but you know they're all very well dressed, man. You know, she's giving them, showing them how to protect the collective black image.
Yeah.
You know, and that's very important. So we'll have the opportunity to go up there and support them in that effort.
Yeah. Very attentive kids, man. All beautiful kids, man. And so if you're watching this right now and you're doing any type of work and you want to chime in before we move off this topic and this subject, please do so because we love interaction. All right, that's what the show is all about. And that's what Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking is all about for those who may feel like that's not the way. We want you to come in and say, hey, you know, that ain't going to make a difference. That ain't going to help. If you're brave enough to say that, come on. Hit us up. Let us know. But I can guarantee you, no, that is the way. You have to, you know, that old phrase, each one teach one. And you have two powerful kings here who, when I was invited, I mentioned it to Antonio, and he was like, yeah. He said, oh, okay. And I kind of looked at him, and he looked at me. I said, oh, so you want to go? He was like, yeah. I said, okay. And he was my man at arms, man. He was there. He took photos.
Took some great photos. Got some good
video.
Good video.
And even helped me out because one of the kids asked me a question about animation, and I'm usually big on if I don't know anything about certain things, I'll be like, I don't know nothing about that, and he jumped in and was like, hey, no, there's software, there's programs about animation. You can do it on your phone, you can do it on the iPad, you can look it up and get free software and this and that. I was like, oh man, he saved me on that one. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And thank you for being my partner in that yesterday.
Always.
Because it's always good when you have somebody to go along on that trip and something you can share with each other. You know, so I appreciate you on that. And
Yeah,
I look
always.
forward to what you're going to do on Monday, because that's big, man.
Yeah, I'll be spending a lot of my time up there, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping for at least 3 days a week to
Okay.
go up there and give them some karate and self defense.
Okay. That's
So.
it, man.
All right. Well, next portion.
Next portion. If when we move on, you miss something and you want to go back and talk about it, if you chime in with us, please keep it at a minimum of one question and a short amount of time. Okay. Okay, but before we move on, Nomadic Nobody said the simple things that Westerners take for granted are potentially money-making skills I try to share when I travel, mainly computer skills. Yes, you told me that before, and I know that that's something that you're big about, Nomadic Nobody. So kudos and bravo to you on that. Your soul be blessed to help people to understand that, because that type of knowledge is very, 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 very important.
Yeah, it is.
Computer skills, the basic computer.
Because the world is evolving.
Yes.
You know, technology is 100% the future, and it's only getting more and more complex.
Yeah.
You know, and intricate.
And some people are terrified of the computer.
Yeah.
And, you know, they just don't. And you see it a lot with older people. And I think that any type of situation that you enter into, you have to have the patience for it. Like I said, I have patience. I mean, for many years I taught kids martial arts, and I don't really teach them anymore now. Maybe late teens I will, but the energy that it takes to teach kids is different. But with film, it's not a problem for me, because I have the tolerance and the patience. And I think you should always do what you're passionate about with them.
Always.
Right? Yeah? Okay. All right, thank you for that, Nomadic Nobody. Okay, next topic on the set that we want to talk about is Jalen Rose.
Yep.
Okay, now Jalen Rose is in the news primarily because his grandmother had died first, and then he took care of his grandmama in the house that she was in. He had bought houses for family members. His grandmama, he bought a house for her. She had passed on. He took that house, he sold it. And then his mom just recently passed on from cancer. And there's almost 2 years ago, and he decided he wanted to sell the house. But there was an issue. And the issue was dealing with his sister. Okay, his sister felt like he shouldn't be selling that house, and he shouldn't be taking her out the house and all of that good stuff. So we're going to talk about that. If you know anything about it, please chime in. But so far, we're just catching you up on what's going on with that. What do you think about that before we get started on the video or anything?
I think she's selfish, you know, and it even gets to the point she reveals it in her own live. She goes from, you know, trying to make it about being territorial about their mother's, you know, final place of living, and then eventually she goes on to just admit, she's like, you're selling a house from up under someone who's been living here for 3 years. How could you do that?
I.e. her.
100%, all about her. She was interrupting the movers that he had hired to come in, and I guess what were they getting ready to pack up the mother's room, and she's screaming and you know, doing her best to limit the work of those movers, you know, but all because she doesn't want to take responsibility for her own life and go and get her own place to live, man.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't want to do the work.
How many of you out there have had to deal with family in this type of situation? That's kind of why we're using this as an example, because I've seen families just pretty much be fractured from stuff like this.
Because they think that you owe them because you found success. And you don't.
Yeah.
You don't owe them anything.
Yeah, when I used to coach actors and when I had my class, that was one of the things I used to say all the time. And I think we all still, even though we know that, we still fall into that. You know, because there's this thing where we feel we're obligated through the blood to be there for them. But I don't think in this situation, Jaylen was just like, he was like, yeah, I'm done, I'm good. You know, I got to do this. He gave it 2 years. And I know that that's a painful situation. I mean, you know, anyone that I have known that their parents have gone on, you know, they have a grieving period. And I guess for him, 2 years was enough. It's time to do what needs to be done.
She called that out multiple times in the video. Was it about, she's saying it's about a year or two, some shit like that. It was all about her, man. It didn't have anything to do with them or their mother.
Mm-hmm.
All about her not wanting to take accountability for herself.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
What do you feel about family? Do you feel there is a point where we are obligated and we are accountable for our family, even if they are not people who fall in line in regards to what we have going on?
I believe that we're all accountable for the children in our family.
Okay. Okay.
And I think that that's just about where it ends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't be responsible for everything that my brothers and sisters do. I do my best to let them know what options they have in this life and in this world. But that's the most that I can do, man. You know, the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And I think depending upon how you were raised or how your belief factor is and your perspective, when you're dealing with family, sometimes it can really devastate you, man. Emotionally, mentally, financially. And if those things are devastating you emotionally, mentally, and financially, it's definitely going to affect you physically. And that level of stress, whether it be heart attack, whether it be ulcers, whether it be your hair falling out, skin problems, you know, it's really sad to see people not realize that, you know what, if I'm stressing this person out, they can't really help me.
Yeah.
You know? And I think we can speak about the black community. The black community is very guilty on feeling like that old phrase, we're blood. Blood's thicker than water.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times, even those who consider themselves Christian overlook the scripture that says that family is for adversity, which means that family's going to cause you adversity.
100%.
They misquote the scripture.
Because they think that they can be 100% themselves without any filters or inhibitions.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're family. They think that you know, that you have to deal with them, and you don't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we're going to watch a little bit of the Jaylen situation, and then we want to see if any of you want to chime in and talk about it.
Yeah, and we'll have it sped up now because there's these copyright issues with showing other people's content, all of those things on Instagram Live and YouTube. We're just going to go ahead and play the sound. You know, you'll hear it, but we won't. We don't want to get in trouble with YouTube on the way to learning to go ahead and make some money. So anyway, here we go.
ESPN analyst and former NBA player.
And it's sped up, by the way.
One of his sisters blasted him on social media. She's publicly trying to embarrass him and ruin his reputation, all because he's selling a house that he purchased for their mother, who passed away in early 2021. His sister moved in the house a couple of years ago, and she was their mother's caregiver. So, of course, she stayed there for free. And now that their mother passed away, his sister, she never moved out. She didn't pay any bills, and that's the problem. Jaylen is preparing to sell the house in his hometown, the Detroit area. So like any other normal person who's trying to sell a house, he went to a property with a woman believed to be a real estate agent to tour the property, but he was met with this.
Clothes and get my summer stuff ready and trying
This is
to
the sister speaking.
But then I got to keep dealing with this idiot and doing this foolishness. Do not go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room.
She's talking to her brother and the movers.
Don't go in my mother's room. Do not go in my mother's room. My mother just died last year, okay? And you bringing strangers all in here, Jalen Rose, to walk to your mother's house that you love so much, that you tried to sell her house a year after she passed while your sister's still living here in it. And you had the audacity to call me a squatter when I took care of our mother and our grandmother in this house. You got a lot of nerve, Jalen Rose. You got a lot of nerve. And I hope the whole world see how much nerve you got now and how fake and phony you been talking about how much love you got for your mother and your family.
He's got headphones in. He's not even listening to it.
The man with the mic ain't got nothing to say today. Ain't that strange? Ain't that strange? How you gonna sell a house somebody live in and been living in for the last 3 years and not communicate? This what this guy is on.
Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Click the notification bell for all updates. Detroit.
And again, if you're not following Pink Book Lessons, you should be.
Now,
She's
this
awesome.
lady, she has
She's
really
on it.
lost her mind. That's his sister, Tamara Rose, talking about he called her a squatter. Very smart brother.
She is a squatter.
This the right way. He didn't allow this moron to bait him into a reaction. Not sure if there's a mortgage on the house or if it's paid off free and clear. But even if it was paid off, there are still financial obligations tied to that property. He's got taxes, insurance, and he could also be paying utilities in the home. If you're not paying for anything and he's wanting you to leave, then ma'am, you are definitely being a leech, living in a property that you're not paying for. And then you hear her defense. She kept saying that he was selling their mother's house. Lady, he's selling his house. She's talking like the house belongs to her just because her mother passed away. And Jaylen is still in the house. First off, Jaylen purchased a house for his mother to live in. Their grandmother also stayed there until she passed away. Jaylen's grandmother passed away in September 2020. She was 103 years old.
Wow.
And his mother died less than 6 months later in early 2021. Jaylen paid all the bills for his mother and his grandmother, financially provided for them both until they passed away. Whatever they needed, he got it for them. His sister now thinking that she's entitled to the same benefits that he provided for their grandmother and mother. Ma'am, you are an able-bodied adult. Not only that, you're very disrespectful.
Yeah.
She called him an idiot for coming
So
on to the
anyway, you know, she said it herself. She's upset. He's moving someone out of that house who's been there 3 years. It took care of their grandmother and their mother, and she keeps calling it her mother and her her mother and her grandmother. And,
Right, right. Welcome to the chat.
and their brother and sister. They're definitely, they're blood related.
Yeah. If you're just chiming in, welcome, Janessa. If you're just chiming in, we're talking about Jalen Rose and his situation versus his sister in regards to the house that his grandmother and mother lived in which he's decided to sell after a year of his mother passing away. His sister feels she's entitled to stay in the house and it not to be sold because she went to take care of the mother and the grandmother during their last days. This is that situation, man. Family.
Always.
Family, man. Family. And I mean, I think what got me mostly was how she was talking to him.
Yeah,
You feel
like she was talking to him like that was her husband or someone who owed her
No
anything
respect
in this world.
No
Zero respect.
Yeah.
As if she really didn't know him.
Do you think there was also a edge of envy because of who he is? And
Yeah, didn't she mention something about how much money he has and all of this shit? You didn't work for it. He did.
yeah,
That's 100% him.
yeah,
Yeah.
that can be tough, man. That can be tough, especially when you love your family. And it's nothing wrong with loving your family. It's nothing wrong. I think it's different for people who are in the entertainment sphere. I think it's different for people who have a certain level of success. In the movie Soul Food, the sister, I think her name was Tracy. I can't remember.
I don't remember them names,
but
I do remember the
the
movie.
Vanessa Williams character. She was the person that was looked at as the ATM of the family. Whenever the family needed money, everybody came to her. And
They had like a business or some shit like
yeah,
that.
they had several businesses,
Yeah.
but she had money. She had, she was well-to-do, and they always felt like she had to pay for everything, to the point where even when they didn't ask, she felt like they were going to ask.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes there's a resentment.
Well, yeah, because your family is emotionally taxing you, you know, and that's one of the hardest obstacles, especially once you get out in the world by yourself and you're looking to figure out how you're going to sustain your own livelihood.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. I mean, I understand when people fall on hard times. That's the situation I've been through myself. So that's one thing. But if you just feel like you're supposed to be supported and taken care of, that is an issue in our culture. It is a really bad issue, and it needs to be dealt with, and it needs to be addressed. And obviously something like this is why we're using it as a means to show if it could be Jalen Rose going through this, who else could go through it even probably worse? I know there was a report many years ago, and I was using that to teach the actors in my acting studio. There was a football player who he had I think it was a $40 million contract. Once he went into the contract, he gave his dad $5 million, his mom $5 million, and his sister $2 million.
I seen that. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember which football player that was. But.
Yeah, and they all went off and squandered their money because they invested.
And didn't they sue him?
And they sued.
Yeah, they sued him after the fact because apparently because he's you know what I'm saying, because he wants to or because he's made that money and solidified that, he worked to get to that point. They decided that he owes them, which is insane.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. They're not doing what he's doing in the gym. They didn't do what he did in college and in high school to get to that level.
It felt like he was obligated to even, and this is the audacity of squandering it. Like, I mean, yeah, we all say, okay, if we had money, things would be better, things would be different. But $5 million?
It should be a lot of money, but really it's not.
Right. And so with that, there should be the due diligence of saying, I know that this can't last, right?
I got it for free.
So let me be smart about it. But obviously they didn't care because they felt like, well,
He's rich. He got $40 million.
Right.
He's gonna hook us up again. No big deal.
Yeah, we can go back and get some more. No, they get together and he goes, no, I don't want to. I can't. I can't, and they sue him. So here it is with Jalen Rose. He did, in my opinion, because I'm very big on taking care of your mom. He did the right thing, and he's got to deal with his crazy, out of control sister now.
Not because their mother is gone, or really probably not even because their mother is gone. Just because he was that kind.
Yeah.
To begin with, and then number one for her is also just because they're related.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he did it enough to where they could stay in the house, and obviously, 100.
Yeah.
The grandmama was, or
I think that was the mom.
Yeah,
they said 103, right?
103.
Yeah.
So obviously, it maybe if her cognitive skills were off, everything, but they were able to live in that house. Because listen, man, let me tell you something. These homes, I just saw a video recently of these two black women beating on this elderly person.
Yeah.
In a home. One was sitting on the elderly person, smacking and throwing
abuse
on
them.
the bed.
The same way children are abused in the foster care system.
Man.
Elders or seniors are definitely taken advantage of in those homes.
Yeah. So kudos to you, Jalen Rose, whether it was through obligation you felt to take care of them or because you loved your family enough and had the money and the resources to take care of them. Kudos to you, brother. And that house is yours to do with it as you wish. A lot of us agree with you. So you're not alone. I'm pretty sure I'd love to see the opposing factor.
Yeah.
Those that like the sister, that believe like the sister believed.
Well, I think that's a majority of people, man. Because again,
we family.
You watch somebody that go and do their thing, and for whatever reason, you're gonna feel entitled to what they worked for.
Why can't you just let me stay here? Because I'm pretty sure that house was.
She had 3 years. She should have had a plan.
Yeah.
She had more, ample time to come up with anything to sustain her own livelihood.
And I'm pretty sure that house is grand. I mean,
it was for his mother.
Yeah, it's for his mom, man. He probably went above and beyond, right?
Of course.
It looked beautiful when I'm walking through it. So
up next.
Yeah, let's move on. We're moving on. Okay, unless you have something to say about that. If you've experienced that type of situation yourself and you'd like to relieve yourself of how that made you feel going through that, because I can only imagine.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah,
I cut the niggas off real quick.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm at that stage in life, man, where I'm especially with family, just very careful, man, because they truly think that you're obligated to deal with everything that comes with them, and I don't believe that that's true or fair. And
it is a growth process. It's not something that you just automatically.
Yeah, you don't just wake up and do it one day. Of course, you got to build to it, because again, like I said. We all deal with our families emotionally taxing us. That shit is hard. It's hard to say no to family.
Nury Martinez, the LA council woman or person, as they say.
Yeah, she is a person.
Yeah,
what is a woman really?
Oh yeah, right.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. She. Oh man, this woman here, boy.
Would you like me to? Are we gonna give a quick synopsis? Or you want me to just go ahead and start reading?
Let's. If you haven't already heard about it, one of the LA City Council persons was racist as hell.
Yeah, she was caught in a I believe it's just a recording. I don't know.
Yeah,
was it on video or was it audio?
No, it's a recording. Somebody slid in a private recording, or they just probably pressed record memo on the iPhone.
On their phone or something, yeah.
And got her ass talking crazy and reckless.
Her and it was three or four individuals.
Three other individuals.
All people who held office,
top people.
Local office in Los Angeles County and
all Latino.
Yeah. And they're caught making racist remarks And I know she stepped down. Did the other guy
She
step down?
finally stepped down, yeah, and they're waiting for the others to step down.
See what they're, okay.
And it was funny because before she stepped down, she was just like, I'm just going to take a break.
Yeah.
She was like, basically, I'm just going to take a break. Like, what I said, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to dispute it, but I just need to take a break. I'm going to take a break. How about that? Which to me, and I'm not big on news.
It's an admission of guilt.
Yeah, but it was just like, I can see how people get triggered because they watch this stuff, right? Because news is entertainment. It really is.
It's entertainment, but it's also stressful because you're taught to believe that the news is 100% effective, an effect on your life, on every aspect of your life, every single thing in the news. If I don't watch the news, I'm gonna fall behind or whatever is going on in America. Now for some reason that means I won't be successful. I won't be able to maintain.
I don't know what's going on. So let's just go ahead and read. Let's go and read what this. Because we're not gonna play the video of how she spoke, but because it kind of did trigger me. It triggered my brother too. Keith was fired up.
Funny. Well, so here's the name of the article or the headline, which is Los Angeles leader caught making racist remarks, steps down from council seat. The former president of the Los Angeles City Council resigned from public office Wednesday, 3 days after a recording surfaced of her making racist remarks in a meeting that is now the subject of a state investigation. Nury Martinez, the first Latina to hold the top post on the council, announced her decision in a press release following a groundswell of outrage and calls for the resignations of her and 2 other council members involved in the conversation recorded last year. Martinez made racist remarks about the black son of a white councilman and other crude comments. Her resignation statement did not address those comments, though in words directed at her daughter, she said she had fallen short of expectations recently and added, "I vow to you that I will strive to be a better woman to make you proud." The announcement was made several hours after Attorney General Rob Bonta said he would investigate Los Angeles' redistricting process that the 3 council members discussed with the labor leader in which they schemed to protect Latino political strength in council districts. Where was that quote at from her? About
Calling the little boy a monkey.
Yeah, she said a bunch of different things. Let's see. No meeting. The council reconvened Wednesday, possibly to censure the 3 members, but it was unable to do business because a crowd of about 50 protesters drowned out the acting president, chanting slogans such as "No meeting without resignation." A minimum of 10 out of 15 members necessary for a quorum had assembled, but the meeting was adjourned when one left. None of the 3 embattled council members showed up. So I believe that was the other, the 3 dudes, right? Mm-hmm. So, and this is after her stepping down. I don't think they didn't really put any quotes from that record. Oh, here it is actually. Mm-hmm. So in the recorded conversation, Martinez called council member Mike Bonin a little B word. Mm-hmm. She described the behavior of his black son on a parade float when he was 2 as Paris Changuito. I don't speak Spanish.
Changuito.
Which apparently translates to little monkey or like a monkey. The Los Angeles Times reported on Sunday. At another point on the hour-long recording, Martinez called indigenous immigrants from the Mexico state of Oaxaca?
Yeah, Coaxa. Oaxaca.
Somewhere in Mexico. She called the indigenous immigrants from Mexico state ugly and made crass remarks about Jews and Armenians. Martinez made history in 2019 when she became the first Latina elected to the council presidency and described herself as a glass-ceiling-shattering leader who brings profound life experience as the proud daughter of working-class immigrants on her website. She's the daughter of Mexican immigrants and was born and raised in the San Fernando Valley, which is in California, for those who don't know Southern California. In any event.
Yeah, listen. The fact that you can bring your mouth to form certain words about certain people, especially when you're in a high position. I mean, everyone talks about Trump and what he said and things he did. I think a lot of that was just to trigger people. That's
what the news is for.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. I mean, especially she's the first of someone to do a certain thing. Like, you broke a barrier and then you act your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to call a little boy, he's acting like a monkey. She also mentioned that she would take him and beat his ass and then bring him back. You know, like I heard the audio. Mm-hmm. And let's not forget, too, that the guy that she called a little B-I-C-T-H, or the guy she called a little bitch, is gay. So the father of the little boy, he's a white man. He adopted the little black boy. And so basically they were saying, well, okay, that's another thing. Like strike after strike after strike after strike. Like, lady, you don't have the right to talk about anybody. You got your own shit you got to be looking out for.
100%.
You know what I mean? And so, especially you're a public figure. But the thing that really got me, because I lived in LA for 23 years and I saw, no disrespect to the Latino culture, but I saw how it was becoming a thing of they were pretty much taking over the top positions in politics.
They're looking to establish their own nepotism.
Yes. And so when you look at it, only 50 people were protesting that?
Yeah. So
what happens is when you're not holding people accountable, this is going to happen again. It more than likely had been happening for a while.
I mean, it's already a part of the local system at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They have their own place, and then they're looking to maintain it.
Yeah, and so, man, I mean, I don't live in LA right now, but I mean, when does it get to a point where you make your move, when you decide you have to do something to make a difference? That's the question that I have for the audience.
As far as for what, the local community, what exactly?
Yeah, because the thing is as and I always direct it towards the black community because we don't really have any political power.
Right.
We really don't. And I think political power is what makes movement, right? I'm not talking about the higher level presidency and stuff like that. Because
but at the local level, at the very least.
At the local level. And that's something that I had learned from people who understood economics and, the base of how we need to fight for ourselves.
Yeah, like one of the things that I learned about from my finance mentor over the last 5 years is, these city council meetings are actually, they're open to the public.
Yeah.
Anyone can show up. Anyone can pitch ideas. You can go up there and ask for, investors, pitch your ideas for different community parks and, new shopping malls or, different types of schools. And you have so many different opportunities just by going to the city council meetings. Mm-hmm. Most local governments meet at least twice a week. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the public is open to come down and get whatever it is that they need to get off their chest.
Yeah. So it's not just going out and voting. You have to go out and make sure that your points are heard. Mm-hmm. I have a theory.
What is that?
Where you said that. But that's part of the reason why I wanted to talk about this as a topic tonight. I'm very big, and you are too, because I've seen you understand that. I was telling my mom, I said that there's an old song. I think it's Creedence Clearwater Revival, and the song is called "Bad Moon Rising." And I said, I see the bad moon rising, and my mom knew exactly what I meant when I said it. But with this, and it kind of gave me clarity on why they went the direction they went with the. Alex, if you're watching, don't call in because we're not going to talk about it. We're going to continue talking about this stuff. But I had to give you this disclaimer. But there was part of the reason why I did not want to see Black Panther 2, or as they call it, Wakanda Forever, was because in an underlying sense, they took Namor, who was from Atlantis, and they made him a Mayan character. Mm-hmm. So when you look at it, really, it's clear as day, it's black versus Latino.
Yeah.
And then this happened, and I was just like, very interesting.
Very few things are a coincidence.
Right.
There are very few coincidences.
Right. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else.
How it will develop.
Yeah, man.
Their agenda is already clear with the main character.
Yeah.
What her identity.
Yeah.
Her identity preferences.
Yes. Yes. So it's very interesting to see that this popped up next month, the Black Panther movie, and it's Latin versus black and black versus Latin. And here is these top officials. These are top officials of a city, man.
Mm-hmm. They're in charge, and they're clearly. I watched a part of another video earlier, and essentially the focus of the audio, you know what I'm saying, was she was feeling threatened, and felt as though not enough was being done to essentially inhibit or monitor and control black people, the black population in the local area.
Yeah, because she had mentioned that one guy. She said he's for the blacks.
Yeah,
literally. And then to even shoot down the indigenous Mexicans and call and
she called them
ugly. She called them ugly, man. That's horrible, bro. I would love. I don't
if you
know
look at her pictures, you know what her identity crisis is.
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, you can get an idea. Yeah. You know, that's a great word that you use. Identity crisis. She don't think she's Latin, man.
No, not at all.
She doesn't think she's above Latin.
She definitely thinks that she's kind of crossed over, you know, as a Caucasian woman or whatever it is that she got going on in her head. You know what I'm saying? But it's very clear what her identity crisis is, man. And you know, instead of her using her position of power to actually to even at the very least, you know, show nepotism for her own people in totality. She doesn't care.
She's that type that wear that Balenciaga and them red bottoms.
Yeah, she's definitely out of order and unfortunately in a position of power. She did just step down, but we know how those
She
things
should have been
go.
fired. Listen,
She easily should have been, you know, impeached or something.
Yeah, this thing about people given the opportunity, because they do it with cops all the time.
Given the opportunity to walk away rather than they need to be punished immediately.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Show that there's some sort of checking and balancing system for them outside of, you know, being suspended with pay and, you know, all of that kind of bullshit, man. These people actually need not necessarily need to be made an example of, but the public should have some sort of solace and reassurance in knowing that there is recourse for unsavory actions with these guys and misconduct. You know.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll ever get the person that ratted her out. I'd love it.
Yeah, I would love to know who that was. They recorded it and went ahead and put it out. Honestly, it might have been, you know, one of those three other dudes.
Yeah, and they all need to also suffer the consequences. Just, you know, when you see one roach, you got to spray and get rid of all of them.
Yeah, it seems like she probably didn't wash someone else's hand. You know, she didn't pay the cost to do business. It sounds like. And, you know, one of those people definitely gave her up.
Yeah, because they knew that in any time they could catch her, man.
Yeah.
They knew. It's like, they probably sitting there, it's like, yo, every time we have a meeting, she say something reckless, son. Let's get this bitch. Let's get her.
Waited for the perfect timing.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, and then leaked it through Reddit. That's how it came out.
Reddit, man.
Reddit's
that's where all the best shit comes from. I fuck with Reddit.
Reddit don't care. The Reddit world
great information hub.
The Reddit world is undefeated. No doubt. Okay. Let's
what
move
we got
on
next up?
Yeah, we got next up. We got 50 Cents in the news again.
Are we going to 50?
Yeah. Is it? Yeah, no, 50. Yeah, 50. 50
okay, that's after that.
Yeah, 50. We're going to go to 50.
Over.
50's in the news, and not primarily because of something that he's done. Because what's going on, Larry? How you doing? What's going on, Mike? How you doing? Thank you guys for chiming in. For joining us tonight. Chime in, guys. Chime in. Go to our YouTubes. Like, subscribe. Even if you're not watching us on YouTube, we need to get our YouTube viewership up.
Yep. So we can completely migrate over to YouTube and
start being able to
start really building building viewership over there.
Yes, absolutely. But thank you for joining us on Instagram, and we're on Facebook tonight. Not yet.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook over here.
And Facebook, and Facebook, absolutely.
And I said Antonio Dean Smith, Ivy, but the fourth, Antonio Dean Smith the fourth on Facebook as well, Facebook Live.
Dope. And I can give an applause to Antonio for making that happen, man.
Thank you.
He's probably a lot more computer tech savvy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, I worked with computers for a little bit.
A little bit.
Just for a little.
Yeah, them kids gonna have a great month.
Oh man, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. So 50's in the news, and it's not on his own accord that he's in the news, but sometimes you know he is because of what he says or does.
Right.
Prior to this situation, he had broke up with Stars, and now he's got some other ventures he's doing. Man, Anybody know 50, send them my way so I can start getting some of these projects made.
Right.
I don't want to do nothing with him on the music end, but I got some movie ideas. Anybody out there who know people that can get some movie ideas going? I got a horror film that I'm looking to make. Let's make something happen, and definitely we can move on. I need to make some money, so
Agreed.
and content. All right, 50's in the news because of his son, and I think this is his firstborn.
Yeah,
right?
Marquise.
So Marquise, his firstborn son, has been talking crazy in regards to child support. He's how 20?
He's supposed to be 25, 26.
26 years old.
He's
Yeah.
definitely not a child.
He's
that's for
far
sure.
from being a child. His child support days are over. He shouldn't
this
even
shit is
be
hella long.
having this conversation. But he stays in the news because of his mom. His mom will always be the one to help bring him into the news. So now he's in the news. He's talking about the child support, $6,700 a month, or $80,000 for that year that 50 paid. The child support per year was not enough.
That is more than 60, or really more than 70% of the U.S.
Population.
U.S. population. No, most of them are not making $70,000 a year, much less even 60. You know.
Yeah, it took me time to get there, but and I'm wondering because is that even taxable?
I think it's already taxed.
It's already taxed,
Yeah.
right? Wow.
Because the who was it? The court. What is it? Is it the
Court
defense
appointed?
attorney? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They all get their cut in it
Before.
before it gets to them. So if he's getting 6,700, you know that really means 50's probably paying more than that. You know, most certainly.
So anyway, 50 Cent's son Marquise responds to backlash for saying $80,000 50 paid in child support isn't enough.
Yeah.
He's 25. So 50 Cent's estranged 25-year-old son. Now, first off, that word is estranged. I want to talk about that because when you hear about that in the black community, that shouldn't even exist.
No, but you know, it's popular in our culture for us to cut one another off.
Yeah. It shouldn't exist. It hurts my heart to hear about. I mean, and your dad is a goddamn celebrity. Everybody knows him. There's kids out there that think 50 is their dad already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 50 raised a lot of young black men through his music, how he wore, what he wore, who he dated, everything, how he speaks. He's one of the top viewed people on Instagram.
Yeah. Because his reputation on social media is that he's like a master troll, which he is. That nigga's funny. That nigga's funny as hell.
He stays in the news and he knows how. But that was his whole career.
Yeah.
And so kudos to him.
Want me to read a bit of the article?
Sure.
So we can get this.
Yeah.
So the headline is 50 Cent's son Marquise responds to backlash for saying $80,000 that his father paid in child support isn't enough. And this is from XXLmagazine.com. Let's see. They say 50 Cent's estranged 25-year-old son, Marquise Jackson, is responding to backlash he received for complaining that the $80,000 he received was not enough to cover his lifestyle. 25-year-old making $80,000 is complaining that it's not enough to cover his lifestyle. That's insane. And I believe that's because he's still in school, right? Or he's in college, rather. So he's still having to
At least he's in college.
pay.
Well, we're going to get to that, though.
Yeah, you know, that's subjective, but...
Yeah.
So on Monday, October 10th, after facing backlash for his comments, Marquise delivered a response on Instagram. Sitting next to money lined up to spell the word entitled, in a similar manner to 50 Cent's famous broke money photo from 2015, Marquise captioned the pic, "Since y'all think $6,700 is so much money, someone tell my pops I will pay him $6,700 for just 24 hours of his time so we can do everything I ever wanted to do with him as a kid. Red, yellow, green, whatever color he likes." I don't know, I guess like a game or some shit, whatever the fuck he's talking about. Oh, well, I don't know. What does it say? Marquise is responding to people calling him out for an interview he previously did on Choke No Joke's YouTube channel where he spoke about his tattered relationship with his famous father and griped about the money his mother received for his care. Child support is $6,700 a month, Marquise said. In the state of New York, you do the math. You're talking about a Forbes lister. You're talking about someone who has problems with everybody. You can't just live in any neighborhood. $81,000 isn't a substantial amount of money. If I told you right now you got to start your life over with $6,700 a month and rebuild your life, can you do it? Marquise then questioned. He was in disbelief when Choke responded, yes. I know what it feels like to have nothing, all right, Marquise added. I had to rebuild my life over with $6,700 a month, so whatever, that's getting redundant, but
Yeah.
you know, he's basically feeling entitled. If I'm sure plenty of you have seen that silly ass picture that he posted on is it Instagram or yeah,
Instagram.
he posted on Instagram that says entitled man. You know, this fool's sitting there with all the money in the world, man, while also looks like he's wearing Balenciaga slippers and all of this kind of shit. But man, life is so hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Making
looking just like his
$80,000 a
dad.
year, looking exactly like his dad, and being a troll just like his dad, sitting there.
Yeah.
You know that silly ass post.
Yeah. I mean, look, man. Listen, I ain't have a dad.
Right.
Okay. My dad died literally, if you know me, 2 months before I was born. So yeah, mom did the best that she could to raise me, but she couldn't make me a
Yes,
man.
Mike.
So
I'm a fucking podcaster. It's my cousin.
So to listen, it's another triggering thing. It's another thing to trigger people because news is all about sensationalism. It really is.
Of course.
The more absurd it is, the more people are going to respond.
Well, yeah, because controversy creates cash, right?
Absolutely.
That's the number one rule.
Absolutely. And we're talking about it because it really, to me, addresses a more serious situation.
Okay.
Which is basically how, and I always divert everything back to the black community because that's what I care about more than anything. I want to heal my culture.
Right.
Your dad is alive, man. I don't care how you were raised and how your mom did you.
Give him the opportunity
Yeah.
to at least tell his side of the story.
Yeah. And not only that, there was a picture we had just saw with him holding his son. So, and he wasn't a baby. He was of age. I do remember when they were talking about that, you know, they don't have that relationship.
Right.
But you have to ask your mom why your dad don't want to be around.
Yeah. Actually, you don't really have to ask your mom because she's already been telling you, you know, her perspective on that your entire life.
Right.
You have to go have the conversation with your father and just get his side of the story. At the very least, afford him that. You know, if you're gonna be opinionated about it, just like in journalism or you know, any other form of you know, academic press, you have to go and do your research for both sides. You know, and then you decide who it is that you believe after that.
Right.
But you need all the facts in
Or
this.
listen, we would talk about this before the show. Listen, man, I'm very big on kingship and stuff like that. Yeah, like, yo, your dad is going to leave it all to your second brother, to your half.
And the
brother.
only reason why you're not included is because you're operating on your mother's emotions instead of your own.
So she messing up your bag. Straighten things out, Marquise. Go get the. Listen, watch. Oh damn, I'm sorry.
Damn, we already hitting the first hour.
Yeah, we move it tonight, guys. Marquise, watch a couple of episodes of Game of Thrones and stuff. Learn the
get some sort of understanding on heraldry and lineage, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, because I'm sure
he's the firstborn.
I'm sure that 50 Cent doesn't want to have to not fuck with his kid.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You know what I'm saying? But it's the fact that, man, you know, he's again operating 100% on his mother's emotions because he doesn't know what his dad's side is. You know, that's not fair to him.
Yeah, and
if you're gonna convict him,
yeah, and when I was saying, let me correct myself. When I was saying go to the mom, like, no, bitch, give me the real story, not your story.
not your made up, you know, emotional.
How he did you, you know, because he was giving money, so it wasn't like he negated his responsibility. He was giving you money.
He paid for your child support.
He paid for your child support. So it's like
a lot of kids don't even get to see the child support money.
Right. So you know that whole thing in itself, man, it's really sad to see. And 50, stop being a troll and do what you got to do in order to get your son back, man. Do what you got to do to get him.
Well, he can't force that on him. His son has to go and do the work, man.
Yeah, I agree.
His son has to do the work.
But he can make it a little bit more palatable, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I do understand that, you know, when people are upset and they are in that space, more than likely that pride kicks in.
I mean, well, you know, we only know about what we've seen publicly, you know, we don't know what led up to him being like, well, fuck that nigga then, you know, fuck my son for right
Oh
now.
yeah, no, we did hear some of that.
Yeah,
I did hear some.
We only know what was presented publicly, but the fact that it even made it to the internet, you know, that wasn't 50 Cent's choice for this business to come to the internet.
Yeah.
That was the baby mama.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And she's notorious for
she's
coming
foul.
out. Yeah.
She's very foul for that.
Yeah, she's notorious for coming out of the woodwork talking about craziness in regards to 50. I don't know why some women are like that. I don't get it. If somebody's doing what they need to do, then you should be in that space. Why am I not able?
It ain't letting you.
Okay, here we go.
Letting you run it back.
Yeah.
Oh, the live. All right, but yeah. So what we got next? We coming up on. To keep on the subject about
bad mamas. Let's call this part of our segment bad mamas, because you're a bad mom if you go out of your way to make your baby father. I get tired of saying baby daddy, but to make your baby father or your ex look bad for it not working out between you.
Yeah.
Because you're affecting the development psychologically of your son or daughter. You're affecting them in the worst way. And so Marquise's mom should be held accountable for that disassociation that they have with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then this next mother,
Jada Cheeves.
Yeah, man.
Cheeves, however you pronounce that.
Jada Cheeves and her son Loyal. And apologies to everyone.
I think that was this one, right?
But I'm back up.
That was this one, right?
Yes, because it goes into it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll play that in a second.
Yeah. And what is she a social media star? Is that what it is?
She was some
or just some
one of these fools' girlfriends or baby mamas or some shit, man. You know, all of these fools getting unnecessary attention. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's her, ain't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll play that in a second, but.
Guys, black men specifically, be careful of your seed and where you lay your seed at and who you give your seed to. Protect your seed. And just know that you have to fight extra hard to make sure you get the rights that are necessary to be there for your son or daughter. This situation, we're just talking about sons because Jada uses her son and a lot
as a weapon.
As a weapon, but also as a means to make her money because, you know, for whatever reason, there's a lot of black women that think it's cute to see little boys do stuff.
Act like women.
Yes. It's horrible.
And I think that is, you know, for them, that's an attempt to attack the father.
Yes. Because
they can't have their way the way that they want it with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's how the entire, you know, that whole movement to get the black father out of the household, this is really an amalgamation of that. This is the full evolution of that is now that this is the modern version of being upset with that father. Mm-hmm. Let me be so upset, you know, my son looks like him, my son acts like him. Let me do everything that I can to ruin this kid. Before they even have an opportunity to become whatever it is that they're supposed to be.
And mind you, that's an unconscious behavior. It's not like she maliciously is
it's an emotional reaction.
It's an emotional reaction because that's what emotions does to people. It makes them act out of cognitive, a normal cognitive or normal dissonance or normal response on how you would do. It's kind of like what we always talk about in self-defense.
Yeah.
Anytime a person loses their temperament and wants to swing on somebody without
that's the blackout.
Yeah.
They're disassociating with their right mind because they don't know what to do with that anger or with those emotions.
Yeah.
So then it floods them and it takes over, and that's how you get the blackout term in the concept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you got to be held accountable. One of the things we should probably talk about too before the night is over, if we can get to it, is that stabbing
Oh yeah.
All right, but let's get into this. Let's
The audio really quick of this is a video of her interacting with her son, and basically what you're gonna hear is the young boy emulating his mother's whether we say it's proper behavior from her or not as a woman. The fact remains that the young man emulates his mother's behavior and emulates her disposition.
Face this. Your mama built you into a man and tried to make you
slow it down a little
by
bit.
turning your brother into a Teletubby. Just like the rapper Lil Baby. His baby mama recently had a bunch of women calling her out online for how she's raising her little boy. Take a look.
It's kind of like weak.
It was a little weak. What did it say?
It's getting baby.
And you can't see it on my side, but
what did it say? Like the teacher said nothing but great things about him, but when it was time to test, he was in green, which means he passed.
you should see his facial.
I know, like he's super. Give me the filter back, first of all.
No, first of all, I was going to get more watermelon.
All right, look at the watermelon.
So let's end that right there. But he's doing all of this and waving his neck and he's being very effeminate.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. It's so unfortunate to see this young male. What is he, about 4 or 5 years old?
Yeah, he's got to be about 4 or 5.
Four.
He's talking about teacher, so he's in school.
He's at least in like kindergarten.
So 5.
So he's about 5 years old, and unfortunately, man, he really is sitting here emulating his mom. All he has to look up to is her, because of whatever the relationship is with his father. And she's really taken the opportunity from him to begin life as a young black man with the least amount of obstacles coming from in-house as possible.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. That bothered me. It bothered me. The word "triggered" has become a very popular word in the days and in the world, man. It's become very popular. I'm triggered, or that triggers me, and this here hurt my heart, man, because it was like, she's, in my opinion, she's using them, and you can see the comments of people laughing my ass off and supporting it, and it's so funny, it's cute.
Yeah.
And it's primarily
nothing cute about it.
Primarily women supporting that. It's just horrible to see it. So he ain't got a shot, man. He and I guess she thinks that this money is going to last forever.
And it's not. She's only gonna be able to get away with what is the word? She's exploiting him. That's really what she's doing. She's exploiting him for her own selfish reasons.
Yeah.
Everyone, today views are currency for a lot of these people. They think that the attention that they're getting is worth a lot of the shame that they should be feeling from their public social behavior.
Pink Book Lessons calls them Teletubbies.
Yeah, Teletubbies
I
and
never
chameleons.
watched that, so I don't.
It's a silly. They're just very silly and childlike. Every single thing about them, very, very silly and childlike, and that really is what it comes down to.
Are they non-binary characters? Is that part of it?
Yeah, just about.
Okay.
At least to my memory. Yeah.
Wow. Learn something new every day. Because as soon as she said that, I said, isn't that old?
Honestly, I don't even know if that shit is still running.
Teletubbies. Gotta love Pink Book Lessons. Hopefully you're following her on YouTube like you're following us.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Like, subscribe. The likes and the subscribe helps us with the algorithm.
Yep. So we can start getting ready to migrate fully over to YouTube eventually.
And if you need to catch up on any of our past shows, they're all listed. I think I got them all up.
Yeah, they're up.
Yeah, they're all up.
Last one uploaded today.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So that one hurt. But that's coming off of what we were saying about 50 Cent's son Marquise and his mom's relationship. Because even when he was speaking to her, he was like, "All right, you're looking great."
That's the evolution of it, man. That is essentially what this young man is going to be once he's older. He's going to be complaining. I believe the father is Little Baby. That's who his father is. And imagine how he's going to act once he's of age. And in college, hopefully he goes to college.
Yeah.
You know, but really, even more so, hopefully he establishes some sort of relationship with his father, so that, you know, he doesn't miss out on the opportunity to continue their legacy properly, which is under his father's guidance. You know.
Jesus. All right. Lots to talk about tonight, man. How are you guys out there? How are you thinking about any of this? What's your opinions on? Do you agree? You disagree? What's going on? We need some of y'all to come on and chime on in. You can hit us here on Instagram Live.
Yep.
We're also on Facebook too, so you can hit us there if you want to join in and have some opinions in regards to what we're talking about. You're definitely welcome to do so. But we are definitely moving tonight. We are in our second hour. We want to talk about the Parkland Shooter. The Parkland Shooter. That stuff that happened today as far as the verdict is concerned. And this happened years ago in regards to the shooting on a Valentine's Day, which was horrible. I remember when it happened. What's going on, Ralph Cooper? How you doing?
Ready for the article? We can jump straight into it.
Yeah. Let's just go ahead. And if you already know about the Parkland Shooter, today was the jury. They found him guilty, but what they did is good to see you.
Their verdict
Let's
is
get caught up.
Their verdict is questionable.
Yeah, highly questionable. So this happened back in 2018, and if you know anything about it, 17 people were killed, 14 students and 3 staffers. Okay, so we're gonna read a little bit of the article and then talk about that. Okay?
All right. So, the Parkland school shooter avoids the death penalty after let me restart that. Parkland school shooter avoids the death penalty after jury recommends life in prison without parole. The shooter pled guilty last October to 17 counts of murder and the deaths of 14 students and 3 staffers in the Valentine's Day 2018 massacre at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida. Let's see. A jury on Thursday spared Parkland, Florida school shooter Nicholas Cruz from the death penalty, recommending that he be sentenced to life in prison without parole for the 2018 Valentine's Day massacre. The 12-person jury's recommendation was read in a packed courtroom before visibly distraught family members and the shooter, who remained blank-faced throughout. The jury reached its decision after more than a day of deliberations, nearly capping the exhaustive trial that saw jurors review graphic videos and photos from the shooting. Tour the high school left practically untouched since the massacre, and hear emotional testimonies of victims' family members. Prosecutors had sought the death penalty while the defense had asked for life in prison. The jury had to reach a unanimous decision for the death sentence. Aspects of Cruz's life were factors in the jury's decision, which is always what it comes down to. Paul Mooney said it best, man. The difference between when black people do something atrocious in the media and when white people do something atrocious in the media. If it's a white person, wow, that's interesting. We're going to have to study him.
Right.
We need to see what was going on in his mind when he did that.
Right.
And then if a black person does it, I got 17 personalities. Oh, you got 17 personalities, huh, nigga? Well, pick one, because some niggas going to jail over this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And more than likely going to have to deal with the death penalty. Mm-hmm. That's insane. Mm-hmm. So, I don't really want to deal with that bullshit trope, reading whatever the rhetoric is on it, but the jury recommended life without the possibility for parole on all counts. The decision means that the jury could not unanimously agree that the gunman should be executed for killing at least one victim, which is insane. He took 17 lives. 17 lives, and 14 of them were still adolescent, innocent children. That's an insane person. So let's see what else we got. However, the jury did find that there were aggravating factors that could warrant the death sentence, but they did not outweigh the mitigating circumstances. I would love to know what the mitigating circumstances are. Oh, they actually do list them, kind of. The mitigating factors the defense had argued include the shooter's birth mother's alcohol use, his adoptive parents' failure to get him proper psychiatric care, and his admission of guilt. Hitler's entire legacy is that he is evil. They've had a couple documentaries explaining what he went through as a child, But we're talking about this fool tried to take out an entire culture and had an entire country behind him. He doesn't get excused because his mom and dad didn't like his paintings and shit when he was growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We never are afforded those sort of opportunities, man. This is it's insane. You know that this is what the judicial system is. This is the justice system. This dude took 17 lives. This shouldn't even be a question. This kind of touches on what we were talking about on Tuesday with them doing the child molester sex dolls.
Yeah.
Just kill these niggas are touching children. It's not even a question.
Right.
Get rid of them.
Right.
There is no rehabilitation for that sort of desire. And even if there were, the issue is you've already committed the crime.
Yeah. Can't take it back.
Regardless of your rehabilitation, you don't get to give this person back their innocence. You don't get to heal their trauma.
Yeah.
That's something that they have to deal with themselves. So, as usual, man, this is insane. You know, I'm gonna say it straight. You know, this white boy is definitely standing on white privilege, man.
Nobody said, I don't want my tax dollars to become the food that keeps him alive.
Oh, what the hell? Sorry about that.
So once again, he said, I don't want my tax dollars to become the food that keeps him alive. Good,
Right.
good on you.
I agree with that.
Listen, there's two ways of suffering here. First off, the family suffer because he still lives.
Right?
And every day they think about their family members that are not there. And then they have to think about him being alive somewhere, eating three hots
3 hots on a
on a
cot.
cot. To me, the ultimate, people say, well, yeah, let him live because then the torture that he'll go through of thinking about what he did with those people. What if he really feels no remorse? So there's no torture in that. He's still living. He can go lift weights and hit the bag and get out.
We said, look, there are tons of career criminals who, even when they do get the opportunity to restart in the real world, they'd rather be in prison because they know for a fact
They're taken care
they
of.
get 3 meals
Yeah.
and somewhere to lay their head.
And told what to do. Some people get off on being told what to do.
Yeah.
Get up, go here, do that.
Because
It's
it
easy.
takes away the responsibility, man.
Yes.
Life is hard.
Life is, yes, extremely hard.
Life is fucking hard.
It is.
Independence is one of the biggest responsibilities in our existence.
That's right, freedom.
You know, it doesn't just because you're free that makes life easy. I can do whatever I want. Most of us take that for granted.
Yeah.
You know, so these dudes, man, they go to prison and say, well,
I'm good.
you know what I'm saying, nigga? At least I can write letters and put floor wax on them and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Library,
yeah,
go
you know,
read books.
they're just a part of an institution, and we of course we know the prison industrial complex is big business, and you know that's a whole nother subject for another time. But this is the result of our justice system, plain and simple. I mean, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory.
The true torture, in my opinion, and I've said this many times before, is the fact that he knows he's going to die, and he's living.
That would be real torture.
That's real torture.
Knowing when you're gonna die.
Knowing when you're gonna die, what you're gonna wear, what your last meal's gonna be, who's gonna be there to watch you get it, and for
Counting
those
the
of you,
days up to that.
Listen, for those of you, this is the problem that I have with people who claim it's a Christian, because they'll be Christian on one hand and be like, oh, they're Christian when they need to be. That's
When
what
it benefits them.
When it benefits them. Do you know the biblical aspect of people being killed is you kill someone, you die.
Yeah.
Period. That hadn't changed.
That's the ultimate sin.
Yeah.
You know, even and that's across almost every culture. Their Bill of Rights, so to speak, or their list of sins that are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why God said, vengeance is mine. Now, he meant that's what the law was, to take that person's life. They got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go because you are a threat. You got to remember, everything that God was doing was in regards to building up Israel.
He wanted to rebalance the world.
And that's right. And Israel was the sign of that. So if you killing people, you think about it, Israel is a small nation.
Yeah.
You killed 20 people, that's a lot of people, especially if most of those people were men.
A life.
You took
A
a
life.
life
The
that was gonna
greatest
help.
gift that there
come on,
is.
man. Come on, man.
We're talking about a life, man.
Come on, man. You gotta go. You gotta go. You know what I'm saying? And if I did it, I have to go.
Yeah.
That's I have to deal with it. No matter, nobody said Marilyn Manson fits that.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking not Marilyn Manson. What's the other Manson? Not Marilyn Manson.
Charles Manson.
Charles Manson. I think you're thinking Charles Manson. Nomadic Nobody. It's just a slip up. Any thoughts about that? Any of y'all want to chime in about that? What's your opposing view? If you got an opposing view,
On
that he should just go to prison.
The Parkland Shooter.
Yeah, the Parkland Shooter. He should just go to prison for life and not be taken out. You know?
Who again? You know, he just got his verdict today, and the jury could not come to a unanimous decision on what his ultimate, verdict should be, or his ultimate consequence, which should be, you took 20 lives, you don't get to live.
Yeah. I mean,
17, whatever.
Next week he could just die.
Open up a book in the fucking cell, man.
Yeah. He could die, and is that really like the difference compared to knowing, okay, we're gonna take your life to where you just, because maybe your heart stopped, or maybe you know what I'm saying, you got the thing inside you that makes your heart stop, you know. Because see, with that, what people don't realize about the death penalty is if you have the death penalty on you, it is their job to keep you alive to kill you.
Yeah. You don't get the opportunity to commit suicide. You don't get the opportunity to poison yourself. They don't give you anything that you could use to end your own life. Mm-hmm. You're going to be here, and you're gonna have to deal with this. Mm-hmm. You have to deal with the consequences of your actions. Mm-hmm. You know, whatever happened to martial law, I'm all about that.
I know. So it's funny that nobody said that the tax dollars that going to keeping him alive. The tax dollars for the court, for the trial, all that's happened. They've been keeping him alive this whole time. Now they're going to spend he may live to 100 years old, and they're going to be paying for that. Mm-hmm. But those people are dead and in the ground, not coming back. Yeah. All right. Let's talk some more about some other stuff now. Let's get off the subject of death.
No more death.
Not yet, because we may go back to that other thing we're talking about. But that's going to be
yeah.
That's a good thing for us to talk about, because it's
just for self-defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. Candace Owens, Nomadic Nobody, is in the news.
And for an admirable reason.
Yeah, this time I agree. I mean, I think the whole thing with her and Kanye wearing the shirts, they've been in the news in the past couple of weeks, really riding the wave. They even, we didn't talk about it, but they even had Kanye, someone took video footage of him eating. And I just went on there and I said, leave that man alone.
Nigga can't do shit.
He was just eating, and somebody videotaped him eating. It goes back to that time when Kobe was eating with his family, and but Kobe saw the guy, and he's just looking at the guy, just hard-eyed, and like, are you serious, man?
Because they'll put a headline out about anything. Kanye, what the fuck is it? Kanye takes out his own trash.
Kanye
what kind of a billionaire empties their own trash? Has he squandered his own money? Is he, you know what I'm saying? Is he on crack and he's smoking up all his money? They're gonna do anything, man, to get people to look at this dude in a negative light. You know what I'm saying? And whether he is or is not guilty of any of the social castration that he's received, let the nigga, let this motherfucker walk around in slippers if he want to, man. It ain't the end of the world, dude.
Nigga can't eat, gotta eat.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let my nigga get a little bit of freedom and privacy, man. God damn.
Yeah,
you'd be crazy if the entire world, or at least you would be upset or emotional in some fashion if the entire world was constantly on your fucking back, man.
Yeah, it's psychologically trauma.
Yeah.
It's trauma.
Yeah, it's extremely traumatizing.
Candace Owens is in the news.
So
for admirable reason. I think, this is going to upset some of y'all. So we might get somebody calling in tonight for this one.
And I'll be completely okay with that. So let's see. The headline reads, Candace Owens drops preview of documentary exposing Black Lives Matter organization.
Stop there. So I saw this trailer earlier today, and I was like, now we got somebody actually mentioning the things that I've been thinking.
Right.
Because that was the thing that I said, because I knew when all of that was going down, all that money, I said, I'd like to see where that money's going to go.
I want to say, what's the name of it?
The documentary?
Yeah,
the
name of the
documentary is called The Greatest Lie Ever Sold. The Greatest Lie Ever Sold. I will be watching it.
Oh, yeah,
just to have my own personal opinion about it. It's different than stuff that I don't watch to support, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people always say, watch it to support it. Well, first off, this is going to be free, so I don't have to pay to see it.
You know what I mean? But we need to go ahead and do our homework and see, what exactly is her focus here and how is her stance on this. either beneficial or, you know, negatively impactful on the black community.
The trailer's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, and we're probably not going to play it because we'll, you know,
Get that copyright strike in a minute.
We don't need that. But it's called The Greatest Lie Ever Sold, and it's about the Black Lives Matter movement. And where did the money go?
The big question.
Yeah. The article says the Black Lives Matter organization is being accused of misusing millions donated by concerned citizens and business owners to address issues involving racism, discrimination, and inequality in the black community. Now, it was a lot more than just business owners.
Yeah.
Corporations. Like we say business owners, we think it's small business owners because people had Black Lives Matter signs in their businesses. I remember
it's a nonprofit organization,
yeah.
so you know these businesses they're washing money and all kind of shit through here.
Absolutely, yeah.
And let's also I always make it a point to expose the fact that the Black Lives Matter organization was neither created nor is it owned by black people.
Right.
It is 100% owned by George Soros, who, you know, take your own time and go look up that name. Maybe one day we'll have an episode on him. But George Soros, George Soros, you know, definitely do your research on him, man, because he is a huge force in anti-black media.
He has agendas, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Let's see. So one of the movement's harshest critics, political commentator Candace Owens, is preparing to drop evidence that she says will crush the organization's narrative. A few months ago, the conservative mom of two revealed that she was working on a documentary that would expose the BLM movement. Last week, Owens released a trailer of the project to her 4.5 million followers. And I quote, "I will be hosting the Black Lives Matter funeral next Wednesday, October 12th. Owens' Instagram caption read, she featured BLM's 2020 990 IRS form, which confirmed that the organization raked in $80 million. Where have you seen that money impacted throughout the city? Owens asked. Owens went on to detail some of the ways the donated millions were allegedly spent. $200,000 went to escorts, BDSM workers, strippers, etc., she claimed.
Wow. So wait a minute, is it out now? Because
I was seeing. That's what I was looking at earlier. I think it's out. We might be able to actually watch it on YouTube. We'll pull that up, you know, in a minute. But I think it actually might be out.
Because today is Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
today's the Thursday.
Today's Thursday.
Yeah. Today's
so
the
it was
13th.
yesterday then. I just saw the trailer today, and that's what brought it to our attention.
So then, yeah, I mean, you know, we'll have to go ahead and definitely look into getting a hold of that,
and then maybe talking about it next Thursday after we have our.
actually get a good opinion on it and take some time to study and see what it's all about.
She said the wait is finally over.
Where's that at?
The documentary is dropping. Every fraud will be exposed. To Black America, I encourage you to remember the names of every single fraud who told you the movement was for us.
Yep.
Every bot that made you believe that throwing on a T-shirt was going to better your communities as they were rioting and looted and left in despair.
Yeah.
To all of America, we have been held hostage and further divided by a criminal enterprise and narrative. At long last, it is over. May every clown that continues to say or use the phrase BLM be put on notice. I think that's a little harsh because a lot of people are ignorant to what it is. That's the only difference. I'm just being fair. Black Americans must be freed from these lies. I agree, so that all Americans can be freed from media-driven deceptions. Sign up to be among the first to watch the fall of BLM. Wow.
And there's a website that's at dailywire.com/Candice, dailywire.com/Candice, so you can go and sign up to be among the first to watch her documentary.
Earlier this year, news broke that the national group's 3 founders, Patrice Cullors, Alicia Garza, and Melina Abdullah, had purchased a $6 million Southern California home in October 2020. They claimed at the time that the posh property would be used as a creator house for talented African Americans.
So let's be clear about something. If George Soros owns this organization, he had to have given them the permission to do whatever it is that they're doing with that money. They have to have that power in their hands.
They're living good.
You know what I'm saying? So that was given to them by the owner of the organization. They definitely did not just somehow, you know, steal that money or, Yeah, because I think this is another one of those examples of representative government, that sort of structure where their face is on it, but really George Soros is the leader.
Yeah, of course.
He's pulling the strings.
Of course.
Now, whether they are or not at fault, to put their face on it is very deceptive.
Yeah, and to think that that they're beyond reproach. I mean, stuff like this did happen in the civil rights movement in the '60s as well, but not on this level. I mean, they brought in $80 million.
Yeah. Well, this is extremely deceptive. Yeah. I don't think we've ever raised that much money collectively as a community.
It probably wasn't even possible before the George Floyd incident.
Of course not.
Yeah, I mean, we saw and witnessed the sacrifice. We saw a death on television. On Saturday, the New York Post reported that Colors had spent tens of thousands of dollars to build a new pool and sauna in the backyard of her $1.4 million Los Angeles home. Colors, who previously had a $35,000 fence installed around the property, resigned from the organization after the Post exposed her real estate spending spree, during which she accumulated 4 properties for more than $3.2 million. Public records confirmed that she paid $1.4 million for her LA residence in March 2021.
And that's one of the founders of Black Lives Matter, which again they didn't found it. Fucking George Soros put all of that shit together. So then lastly, Owens made headlines Monday when she and Kanye West appeared at a Paris Fashion Week event wearing shirts emblazoned with the words "White Lives Matter." The rapper/designer caused a stir after the models in his show walked the runway wearing the same White Lives Matter shirts. Kanye West labeled the Black Lives Matter movement a scam on Tuesday after sporting the controversial top during his Yeezy fashion show. Everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Now it's over. You're welcome, the artist wrote on his Instagram story. I think that's an excellent reason for him to have go ahead and let them put this silly ass picture out. Which, like I said last week, we don't know what the agenda is behind him wearing that shit.
Right.
So really, this is just it's him being satirical. That was him showing irony. He said, "Nigga, this shit is fake."
That's his way of trolling.
Yeah, that's his way of trolling the Black Lives Matter movement. So he wasn't wearing it in support of some secret White Lives Matter or white supremacy organization. It was him being smarmy about it, which I respect that.
Yeah, because Kanye is different.
Context is everything.
Kanye's different. He's going to have his way of doing it, just like how we have our way of how we work with the community. He has his way, and God bless him, man. Like I said, what he does doesn't affect me. It doesn't trigger me. I could care less. I just always want people to have. We always say we want them to have options, and the options of how you address whatever it is that's holding you down as a culture and it's holding you down as a person.
Right.
You need to remove it and get it out of your way. I knew that Black Lives Matter was a scam.
The whole time.
I'm always big.
It was too openly welcome.
Yeah.
When has anything that we've ever put together that's supposed to be fully in support of us and authentically us and individually, focused on us, ever not been some sort of trap or ruse?
And there were lots of people, I remember when it was happening, asking, where's that money going?
Yeah, as they should.
Because anytime you have movements like that, anytime you have things that huge donations, stuff like that, you should always question
where the entire world is behind this. Yet somehow, with all of that support, where are the subsidies? You know what I'm saying? Where's the outcome? The overarching effect of everyone's cries and outpours that are supposed to be in support of us. The money and the support. Where is it shown any sort of results?
Yeah. What's the objective?
And there haven't been any.
No, at all.
There have been zero.
At all. I mean, no food drives, no home drives, no community building, nothing. No programs, right? Horrible. Whew. Man. I can't wait to see it. I mean,
yeah, I really do want to watch that.
The trailer had some interesting stuff on there. You know what I mean? It was very. This is the issue that I have with people. Black people, our culture in particular, we have to stop being in a place where, first of all, people can't talk about stuff.
Nope.
They can't speak out against stuff.
Nope.
And they can't,
ask questions that oppose. Or things that bring into question the motives. of what it is that's being presented to us.
And the accountability. I think that's the number one issue. You know, it's like, well, they did a lot of help. They helped a lot. They did a lot of good. Okay, getting people to march and protest. that's great.
That's the oldest trick in the book.
Yeah, because you don't really have any power.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and this goes all the way back to the beginning of the show.
It's a long complaint.
Yeah, when we talked about Nury Martinez and the fact that the LA Council is all Latino.
Mm-hmm. They established their own nepotism, like I said earlier,
because they're looking out for their culture. So it's one of those things where it's just like, man, bro, I really can't wait to see this. I think after the show, hell, maybe
let's go ahead and look it up. Yeah, for sure.
You know, and it's called The Greatest Lie Ever Sold. The Greatest Lie Ever Sold.
And that's by Candace Owens again. What was the website? She did post the website. You can go to her website, or maybe it is hers, maybe it's not.
It is because she's part of the Daily Wire. I think she's one of the correspondents of the Daily Wire.
Okay, so that's dailywire.com/Candace. You can go and sign up to be put on a waiting list of sorts to get to watch The Greatest Lie Ever Sold, and that is supposed to give facts that should, or at least that aim to dismantle the Black Lives Matter movement and its unwarranted support.
Yeah, black people get mad because they feel like you're attacking somebody that's doing something.
That's supposed to be attempting to do something for us, or do something for us, but they can't even say, who is it that's in charge of this?
Man, I want results.
Yeah.
I'm all about building. So let me see some results. I would have been on the king chair and be like,
So shut that whole shit down. Yeah, we definitely there should have been some sort of investigation or proof of concept demanded. There should be a proof of concept demanded from anything that is handed to us. I'm tired of the smallpox blankets and all of that shit we keep getting, from everybody. Man, they always looking to throw a plague at us, and
yes. This is the question. If you watch the trailer and you see truth in it, will you still support it? That's the question to everybody out here.
Same way, I hate to bring up a black example, but R. Kelly goes to jail and everybody still saying, well, that nigga can sing though. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's horrible.
That's crazy.
Look, I knew, and we'll talk a lot about music next week, but I knew when I was in the game what he was about.
Oh yeah.
And I know people personally.
People who supported him.
Yeah, I know people personally who was disgusted. I have several friends that,
With his practices?
Yeah, they knew. They were at the shows. They could see it, and, they did their best to intervene, but it was just the behavior that people allowed it to happen, man. It's horrible, man.
But that's what money, and the opportunity to be seen, especially today, like I said earlier, attention is currency. Really, it is these days, especially with social media.
That's a great phrase.
So these people will throw away anything just for the chance to be seen. They don't even care, what the negative impacts are. They don't care if it'll bring shame upon them or their loved ones. They just want the opportunity to be seen.
Yeah, man.
By people who, that shit, it doesn't change your life. Attention is not changing your life, nigga. You need some force of mobility that actually enhances your life in some way or another. Mm-hmm. So,
any thoughts on the Candace Owens situation? The trailer, has anybody seen it?
Yeah, has anybody seen the trailer, or actually, does anybody know if it is out yet?
Yeah, the film itself. The trailer, I'm serious, man. That trailer, I was just like, whoa. Like, who she spoke, like, it wasn't. There wasn't any fabrication.
Yeah, I'm hoping that there are some extremely inflammatory comments and leaks of information in there. I want her to seem like what do they call the people? The damn the dime droppers, man. What is that shit?
Oh, yeah.
Like the Russian kid.
Yeah.
Damn, what is that shit called? Whistleblowers.
Whistleblower.
Yeah, I hope she gets labeled as a whistleblower.
Or she has whistleblowers that she's interviewing, because that makes it even better.
That is even better, yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's not on her. They can't shut her down. They have to go after those people.
Well, there was one guy in the trailer, if I remember distinctly, who was supposed to have received some funds and didn't. and they showed him.
Oh, and he turned it down.
And no, he didn't turn it down. He was supposed to receive it. He was somebody that was
they
supposed
paid
to
him to do something, and
yeah,
then he
supposed
did
to
it
help him, and, they
and
didn't help
get the
him.
money.
Yeah, he didn't get the money. They didn't help him. He was supposed to have been one of those people that was going to be helped, and didn't get help at all.
That's crazy.
I don't even have anything to say. You're saying it all. I'm no mad at nobody. Yeah, we know how you feel about Candace, so that's part of why.
Yeah, this is great. Just bringing some balance to what was said earlier this week. At the end of the day, like we were discussing in the last show, man, you never know 100% what any of these celebrities or public figure stances are. Because at any moment they could be swayed. At any moment they could be offered an opportunity to do something that is or is not out of their character.
Yeah. I mean, they're controlled opposition and stuff like that too. But there is sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
And listen, for a long time, people have been saying that about like the Black Lives Matter movement. It's like, okay, great, they got y'all marching, they got y'all out there protesting. Where's the results?
I agree.
Because that was always me. It's like there got to be some work.
Yeah, nigga, we ain't got no schools open. It ain't no after school committees or senior, not senior, but community center. Some shit up.
They talk. What's the brother's name? The one that did
the school.
Yes.
Umar Johnson.
Umar Johnson got his school open.
Is it open now?
Yes.
I didn't know it was
he got
open.
His school open.
And they've been talking shit about him for years.
Tariq Nasheed got his museum.
I didn't know that.
So
I've always seen headlines talking shit, but I don't see nobody sharing the information that the school is finally open.
No.
And the school, for those who don't know, that school is a school specifically for young black men. It's an institute, private
open.
school.
He got it.
Perfect. It's in Philadelphia, right?
Yep. It's been in effect for a while, and
let's pull
the
that
museum,
up real quick.
The museum for Tariq Nasheed. The last I had heard one of his shows, they got the location and they are looking to have an open date.
Yeah, let's pull that up real quick.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh?
Because I think he definitely deserves some respect.
Yeah.
For that school finally opening. People talked all kind of shit, man, and he showed tons of proof of work videos and such over the years. So, man, I'm just I'm happy to hear that. Pandemic 2022. Oh, it's open. We'll be back. Open date. They're showing us videos. We ain't about to watch no video. In any event, go out there. Man, whatever you can say whatever you want about dudes like Dr. Umar, but man, at least he's putting in some effort to balance our public image out.
Yeah, and Tariq Nasheed does have that museum for sure too.
Oh, let's see.
Got the location in LA. Yep.
You said it's in LA?
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. Looking up the museum real quick. Hidden History Museum. Yep. The website is up. September 27th. Yeah, so it's out there. It's time. Okay, so cool. Let's pull this back to the ticker. So, what are we looking at?
Someone said check your YouTube comments.
Oh shit! Yeah, we have not been looking at the YouTube page.
So we're on that right now.
Oh damn! Yeah, we do got a few on here.
Salute to you, brother. Definitely. Believe it or not, a lot of people experience this after family members pass away. Yes, Kiana Brown, you're absolutely
earlier
right.
about the
about Jalen Rose.
Yeah, Jalen Rose for sure.
Just up to you. Thank you. Looks like you have a good, interesting channel.
What does that mean, Mary Jean?
Yeah, thank you so much. Tehran Herring, good evening. Good evening to you. Thanks, guys. My boy going to the top.
That's one of my brothers from the military, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for looking out for him, man, and supporting. I sent you some subs. Thank you so much.
No, for real. Thank everybody.
Yeah, thank you for subbing, for sure. Make sure you like the video. This one will be up and ready tomorrow, so you can take it and share it as well. And like I said, for us, it's always just a different perspective.
Yeah, just offer more perspective.
Yes, because I know you probably have other people talking about these topics tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But our perspective is our perspective, and it usually deals with the black community. So that's kind of why we are.
It's always an aim to balance everything out.
Yes, absolutely. So, as we're leaving out at 9:42, we have 18 minutes left. There's a topic. Oh, how do you join? Just hit
Instagram Live.
Instagram Live. There's a little camera thing, right? That's the camera.
Yeah.
Hit the camera thing, and we'll bring you in if you're interested in talking. If you want to be on camera. If not,
2-minute time limit.
Yeah, 2-minute time limit. But if not, then just write in your question or your comment. But in any regards, you can hit the little camera, and that will tell us that you want to join in. View request. Okay, yeah, he's doing it. All right. Welcome. So we got you coming in. We may not be
It
able to
always
get to
takes
that
a moment.
Yeah, it takes
Shit.
forever. May not be able to get to.
Oh, there it is.
What's going on, man? How you doing, brother? How you doing, strong black brother?
This is another Eric.
All right, that's good. That's good. So what's on your mind tonight, man? Welcome to Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking. Let's get your opinion on it.
Bringing up a lot of interesting topics. I'm excited. My boy is expressing his opinion on YouTube. I've been telling him this since tech school, man.
2012.
Yeah, man. I've been telling him forever. I've been telling him he could talk. People find him interesting. He finally putting it into work. I like that.
I enjoy him, man. We talk all the time, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so him sitting next to me while we're doing this forum, he comes up with great ideas. He always has amazing stuff to talk about. I'm pretty sure you experienced that. So I enjoy sharing this journey with
Platform,
him. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Me and him, we had real extensive conversations in tech school, and I kind of felt like he was kind of like me in a way, very introspective but reserved. So it took me a while to get on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I went live today, and I did a little commercial for y'all show.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. That's love.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
Go to my YouTube channel. It's Preach, man.
Preach.
What is it? Preach? PREACH?
It's in the comments. It's PRE7CH, man.
I got you.
All right. So we're gonna put that in the
I have
comments.
conversations with people all the time, man. I hold panels and stuff.
Oh, awesome. Well, I mean, it seems like we'll definitely be going to be doing.
Yeah, we'll have to do a
together.
collaboration.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
On our bigger shows.
YouTube. I was trying to tell him in his messages, when you're interacting with the comments on YouTube and you're going live, I've seen a lot of people get like 1,000 subs out of nowhere, and that's the goal.
Okay.
You know, so you can get monetized, so your videos start making money.
Yeah.
In the comments right now, stop bugging. That's my boy. He owns a business.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? A pest control company down here in Florida.
Can you plug him real quick so that way we can make sure
Yeah.
he's getting some business coming to him? We definitely are big about
Stop
that.
bugging.
Stop bugging.
Stop bugging.
It's a black-owned business here, a young black man.
Black-owned extermination company? Or pest control company?
That's
Okay.
awesome.
And located down in Florida, correct?
All the certifications and all that.
What part of Florida?
South Florida.
South Florida.
Broward County.
Broward County.
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Something like that.
Well, peace and love to him, man.
Yeah. What is your thoughts tonight about any of the topics that we spoke about?
I had some thoughts about all of them. I wish I could have figured out that yours was the main Instagram. Then I would have been in here. But 50 Cent son, hey man, look, that father son stuff. I feel like only other men should really speak on that because it's a very volatile situation. Given that 50 Cent is a very serious person.
Yeah.
His son, on the other hand, they've already had bad blood.
Yeah.
But I feel like his son is doing the right thing and trying to fall back into a child's place. Because it kind of seems like he realized he stepped out of line with his dad. And he was like, damn, it ain't no way I could go against a force so much greater than myself. I gotta have some kind of respect. I think that kind of sunk in a little bit for him.
It's the way he's going about it. It seems like, man, like I said earlier, he's going about it the way that he only knows how, and that's based on his mother's emotions, the way that she showed him. You know, he doesn't know how to go and reestablish his relationship with his father correctly.
How do you think, in your opinion, how you think that there can be a reparation or a sense of repairing? Because I think we have a lot of fathers out here who have that issue, right? And I'm very big on fathers mending their relationships with their sons. I don't think it's ever too late. But what do you think needs to probably happen? Is it that 50 needs to reach out to his son, or his son needs to, like we mentioned, and go back to his mom and straighten her out, or go back to his dad and build that repair? Because, you know, it's an empire that's at stake here, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he's a shoe-in to be in that spot, right?
Yeah.
Oh, let me pull up that other video.
I had a situation like this with an older family member of mine, another male, over a particular situation, and things were said. But I was like, at that moment, I was so angry, I stopped looking at them as a person I respect and completely went off the emotion, you know? And then when I finally realized it, I was like, I could have expressed that same opinion without as much emotion, and that way it would have been more copacetic, you know? But like he said, him as a kid, that's all he knows. All he knew was his mom was telling him. So it got him into a spot. And 50, I think 50 can understand that, but he is going to be petty about it because that's his nature.
Yeah.
So he going to let his son completely
Embarrass
do
himself.
whatever on the internet, like, because he knows it's a crime for help. Because he know at the end of the day, his dad going to be his only lifeline in this world. You know?
Wow.
His mom not gonna.
Right, yeah. Wow.
I'm sure he is he's probably definitely realizing that subconsciously, you know, just as he's getting older and seeing, man, his mom doesn't have much to contribute to his life because she's waiting for handouts. You know what I'm saying? So if she's waiting for handouts and that's the only skill set that she was able to translate to him as a young man, you know, he's gonna start reaching out to more masculine figures, and obviously the first one in mind would be, nigga, where's my father?
I mean, and can you really blame a kid for being brainwashed?
Yeah.
Thinking, oh, your dad don't care about us. We dark skinned. He messing with other. Then you got the colorism, and then so he probably like, damn, that might be what's going on. We might be getting the short end of the stick from pops.
But that's why we as black men, as a community, we have to learn to. I'm very big on learning a new language of love for black men, right? I'm very, very big on it. And that comes from my dealings with the martial arts throughout the years. And so how I deal with black men now is different than how I dealt in the past, because I realize that, you know, we're catching it on so many different angles. We're catching it from the world. We're catching it from our community. We're catching it from the women we're with. We're catching it from our families. Nobody cares about the plight of the black man. We're at the bottom, right? And so what about like a message to those that are around him? Hopefully they're not as jacked up, his black brothers, if he has, you know, brothers, you know, black friends that, like, you know, speak some sense into him. You know what I mean? Like, bro, your dad is 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like Stop Bugging said, he's the heir to the throne. You know, you need to watch a couple of episodes of House of the Dragon or something, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're the heir to the throne, you know? And it's like, get it together, man. You want to inherit all of this. You're the firstborn, you know?
Yeah, all that. And look, man, the kid's growing up. What is he, 20?
He's 26.
25?
Yeah, he's 26. 25, 26.
I mean, yeah, this is about that time you need to start realizing as a man you want to stand on your own too. And it took him a while, but if he would have just stayed under toe and just followed his dad lead, he would have soaked up a lot of game. But like you said, his mom was in the situation. So I think that kind of sullied it. But I think they're gonna repair it, and I think he's gonna lean more towards his dad's side. Like some kids, like a lot of kids do. Whatever parent was the one that was trying to poison the child's mind,
So
that's usually the one that looks bad at the end.
It backfires, yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Hey, brother, thank you so much for your contribution, for your support.
Yeah, man,
your
thank you.
words of wisdom, because you are, I could tell, a wise king in your own right.
I get it from him.
Look at that.
That's a huge compliment, man. I appreciate that, bro.
Hey, man, you should be envious, man. I get to have this guy all throughout the week, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, but you'll be definitely proud of him. He's going to be speaking on Monday to the kids. So that right there to me is like, you know, we hold everybody accountable. Each one teach one, and not only do we just talk about it, but we're putting it into effect. So we look forward to having you down the road, man. All of your help, we so greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna leave here tonight with a smile on my face because of that, brother.
Hey, likewise, man. Hey, look, like I told you, man, I do this YouTube stuff, so anytime you want to have a panel or figure out how to, you know, host it,
Yeah, for sure.
what y'all doing right there, and have the panel to where you can control and have people actually come up on the screen.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely we'll chop it up afterwards, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man, I got love.
All right, brother. No doubt. Love, King. All right. Thank you.
So, really quick before we got
We have 8 minutes left, and we had a lot to talk about, and we still got some stuff that
we got one last thing we're gonna go over.
Yeah, no
Let's
doubt.
go ahead and move it over to Chrome real quick.
Thank you for that, brother. Thanks for coming in, and thank you for commenting. That was awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
What a great call. Thank you.
It's another Eric.
Yeah. He's another Eric, huh?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right. Thank you, too. Stop bugging. We appreciate that. Hopefully your business increases and
Oh yeah, for sure.
good things happen. Okay.
So lastly, Queens man accused of killing FDNY, which is the Fire Department of New York, Emergency Services, Lieutenant Allison Russo, arraigned on murder charges. So he was arrested finally. I'll read through this quickly, and then we can kind of just give our synopsis or, give our opinions afterwards. Mm-hmm. So the man who fatally stabbed an FDNY EMS lieutenant just stepped from her Queens station was indicted and arraigned on murder charges Thursday as dozens of still-eyed emergency medical technicians and paramedics watched in a courtroom gallery. Peter, however you say his last name, he's got a wild one.
Zispoulos. He sounds Greek. That's a Greek name.
So Peter Zispoulos pled not guilty in a video feed from a bed at Bellevue Hospital after Queens prosecutors charged him with murder and criminal weapon possession for his unprovoked September 29th attack on EMS Lieutenant Allison Russo. Russo, 61, was on duty Thursday afternoon near her station in Astoria when Zispoulos, 34, attacked her, knifing her more than 10 times. She was taken to a nearby hospital where she died.
It was actually more than 20.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
She was a 24-year veteran of the FDNY and expected to retire in a few months, friends said. Zispoulos is facing 25 years to life if convicted. During the brief arraignment, Zispoulos' lawyer, Wilson Antonio Lafori, explained his client has a past psychiatric history. Now, here we go with that bullshit. The same trope as earlier with the Parkland shooter, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They get this privilege of, he's so interesting. We're gonna have to study that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let's figure out why. Nigga, he's crazy. Get rid of him.
Yeah, he got go.
He decided that he can do whatever he wants to other people. We know that that's a no-no in self-defense.
But this is the thing. Look, we believe that he doesn't understand the charges against him, and we are asking for an exam. He was out. He didn't escape from a psychiatric ward.
Yep. He was living freely.
He was out, walking around.
Yep.
So,
if it was that much of an issue for him, where was his support or handlers of some sort, someone in his life to have actually holding him accountable and having him in an institution somewhere where he could, get some rehabilitative help?
Yeah, checking in daily. He may have had a history of some sort of mental illness, they said, but if you watch that horrible video that's been out there, clearly you see he killed her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, it's 9:55 already.
He murdered her. He knew what he was doing wrong, and he ran away. You don't run away because you've done something right. That's the oldest story in the book. Cain ran away after he slew Abel, bashed his head in, and ran.
Because he knew he was wrong.
He knew it was wrong.
He knew he was wrong, plain and simple.
We probably have to pick this up again because this is... Listen, the reason why we're talking about this, everybody, is because y'all need to get out there and learn some self-defense. Y'all playing games. Y'all need to learn some self-defense. And here you got two people who are skilled highly in self-defense. Yeah. Against knife, too, because I know people play that game of, you can't defend yourself against a knife, but I've proven it. I've proven it that you can. 100%. I am the premier knife instructor in North America under Tom Shrink. We can prove it. But this is the thing. Awareness makes the key. Yeah. It's not the difference. The difference between sport combat and self-defense is that self-defense prides itself in awareness.
Yeah, because there's a huge difference between seeing and knowing and actually embracing.
Yes.
You have to embrace this reality.
Yes.
Your existence in this reality that at any point, someone could decide to do whatever they want to do to you.
Yes.
And if you don't have the presence and the wherewithal, the comfortability with understanding the intimacy needed to protect yourself, you're doomed from the start.
Yes. Because when he came at her, her first instinct was not to run. She froze. Yeah. And that's what I always tell people in self-defense. I'm like, you say it's easy for these self-defense and martial art instructors and people to say, you know what, if a knife, I'm going to run. But if you don't practice the running, You're not going to do it. And that's exactly what happened. After the first stab, the guy came at her. She fell and hit her head. So now she was unconscious being stabbed. And this article said 10 times, but I counted. It was 20 stabs. And this is the thing about self-defense. You are on your own.
100%. It's in the name itself. Self-defense. It's all on me in that moment. Do I want to go home is the question. How bad do I want to go home?
If you haven't seen the video is definitely out there. We cannot
brutal.
show it. It is a brutal video, but you need to watch it. And I know there's a lot of people that don't like watching things that are violent. But violence is a part of our lives more now than ever. Mm-hmm. I get reports all the time from LA about how violent it is. Mind you, this was in the middle of broad daylight. This happened. Broad daylight. So robberies and stuff like that are happening now. Guys, learn some self-defense. You know what? We will have an episode where we talk about self-defense.
Yeah, well, we could actually we could do the episode in the training room.
Perfect.
Yeah, we have a training room here, here in-house on the facility, because of course, like you said again, you could be told that at least the first thing you could do, of course they did that, but you could be told that of course the first thing that you should do is at least run for your life, but that don't mean shit if you ain't practiced running away. You got to know what that feels like. You have to know what it feels like, and you got to know, to be able to activate that in not even just in your mind, but in your spirit right there on the spot, because it's milliseconds.
Yeah.
These things are milliseconds. Most fights, street fights, and assaults do not last longer than 6 seconds.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. So that's the best advice we can give. You got great resource here. Yeah, you'll have to pay, but at least you'll be safe. So hit us up.
Yeah, you'll get your money's worth. We're passionate about it.
Really quick, our socials. Instagram, we can be found at CMCT_show. Facebook, we can be found at CMCT show. YouTube, we can be found at CMCT_show. Twitter, again, CMCT_show. You can also send us
an email.
Questions, topics,
statements,
input. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about, what you'd like to see here on the show. That email is cmctshow@gmail.com. Again, that's cmctshow@gmail.com. And in case you're wondering what the CMCT is, that is Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking. Our TikTok is established, but we ain't started posting yet. That's coming. You can access both of our link trees. Or the show's link tree number one.
Yes.
The link tree website. Go ahead and search CMCT_show. Search my link tree, which is the dosage at the link tree website, and choices.
Darkon 2000.
Darkon 2000, which is DARKAN, the number 2000, DARKAN 2000, and lastly, the host social media. His Instagram is DARKAN 2000. His Twitter is also DARKANENT. And lastly, my Instagram, which you're probably already here live on. You can also find us on YouTube again, but my Instagram is _dosage. And I believe that wraps it up for tonight.
Yes, and please, if you want to donate, if you want to contribute to the channel, you can do that through any one of our link trees. Definitely.
Correct.
We would appreciate any help at all. But thank you for tuning in to another episode of Change Your Mind, Change Your Thinking. And we look forward to our next week's show, Tuesday. It's going to be all about music, so make sure you chime in.
Yes.
All right, that's going to be a fun one.
And I'll wait for that. It's going to be beautiful.
Yes. Like tonight. Tonight was a great episode.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody. Y'all have a good night. We'll be live on Facebook and Instagram for a little bit while the outro's playing. That wraps it up.
Is that song available?
Not yet. I haven't dropped it yet.
Okay.
It's only you're only gonna hear it here on the show.
I will stay on him about it.
But pretty soon it'll be dropping. My boy Draco's Wild, my producer. We're working on our solo project right now, and then also really quick, me and Mario or Remo Chains, my cousin. We got our project coming for Mania Asylum that'll be dropping on October 22nd. So we got music videos. All of those things are coming. Got the merch site up and all of that. So we'll be plugging that here coming up this next week.
Absolutely awesome.
All right, everybody, please have a good night.
Have an awesome one.
Will. Muscles on his lonely back. All right.
I've been on the grind so long, host.
That was damn near like clockwork. That was ripped right on through. And that first hour, man, that shit passed so fast. God damn.
It's like it's the first hour. I was like, what?
That's man. I didn't even feel it.
Yeah, we on it tonight for sure, man. You was on fire tonight.
I appreciate it.
You was wanting to read everything. I was like,
Hey, look,
let
man.
the horse go. He's going. Came out the
Go
gate.
ahead and knock this shit out, man.
Yeah. You know, it feels natural.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was just like, you know, it feels really natural now. It's fun.
We're kind of falling into our flow, I think. For sure.
And then even your board, that's going to be very interesting.
Well, I was avoiding that nigga. On my side, man.
Please stop the BS for real. It's on purpose. For real.
I'll tell you why after we get up off here. But man, we had a really good time in the military together. That's my nigga, man. That's my nigga for real.
Please stop the BS for real.